All right, guys. So after my last video, I posted uh, the scary comp. Man, a lot of you guys, a lot of my fans and friends was like, "Oh, you're such a baby. It was so funny to see you scared." Blah 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 blah. You should do another. All right, so I'm gonna do another one. We're gonna do another scary one. You know what I mean? But I'm not getting rid of my teddy. I'm keeping my teddy. Okay. And we're gonna watch this scary video together. Together. What the hell is again? Together again. Okay, that's what I wanted to say. Let's get into it.
Some videos are so terrifying that you may catch yourself holding your breath. Number 10, emergency landing. Imagine recording a selfie video after an emergency landing in the Pacific Ocean. That's what this pilot did in August of 2019 when two aircrafts were taking part in an aerial photo shoot. The video captures the aftermath of an emergency landing in Half Moon Bay near San Francisco. One of the planes, a single-engine Beechcraft Bonanza, malfunctioned, losing power. Video footage from above caught the landing, which was an admirably safe one, according to the pilot that managed to stay in the air. The downed pilot, David Leash, and his passenger both survived after Leash set the plane down nicely in the water. Leash then captured the aftermath of the incident on video while standing abroad the wing of the plane and later hanging onto pieces of floating items like seat cushions and window shades to help the pair tread water until rescuers arrived.
But first off, that's honestly my two biggest fears ever in the world, bro. I do not like being in the air, and I do not like being in the ocean. Now you put those two together, you crash into the ocean, and you got to sit there and wait for the heli to come pick you up, man. And that water looked tropical. You know what I mean? So it looked nice and warm, but with nice and warm comes sharks and different types of creatures and animals. Man, you got me all the way messed up, man. You gotta get me out of there, bro.
The plane can be seen in the video going bottoms up, sinking nose first into the ocean. The pair, in fairly good spirits all things considered, managed their best to stay afloat, although David notes the water is quite cold.
The water's a little bit cold.
So I retract that statement. It's not tropical, it's very cold water. Either way, my anxiety is through the roof the whole time we're waiting, bro.
But we're all right. I set it down real easy.
No one got hurt.
No, we're good. Is everything all right?
Thankfully, overhead, his fellow pilots sent mayday calls to the Coast Guard, alerting them to the incident. Still, the pair were risking hypothermia in cold water for around 40 minutes by the time a Coast Guard helicopter that was on a training mission arrived. David continued filming.
Okay, I keep seeing this thing. I need to... What? Guys, am I tripping? Hold on.
Hypothermia in cold water for around 40 minutes by the time a Coast Guard helicopter that was...
What is this? Right here. What is this thing? What is this, yo? If this seems to be the plane, what is all of this? This is the shit I'm talking about, bro. Like, what is that? What is in the ocean right there? Chilling.
Was on a training mission arrived.
Or is that like the reflection from the window in the video? I don't know, man, but that's creeping me out.
They were being airlifted out of there, although they certainly were lucky. They didn't make it out pain-free while waiting. They'd been repeatedly stung by jellyfish. Number 9, claustrophobic hole. Published to YouTube in December of 2019, Brandon Gross writes, "My friend Danielle took me into one of the craziest caves I've ever seen. I'm very bad with tight spaces and decided to face my fears. Would he live to regret it?" The footage follows the pair squeezing into a tight slot. Holding onto a rope, they descend into what can only be a claustrophobic nightmare. As the underground cave gets tighter and more suffocating by the minute, the cave widens and narrows, but at one point, Brandon notes that the space into which he intends to squeeze is only as wide as the length of his foot. Slithering through the caves, they finally reach the bottom cavern. When they start to continue exploring the claustrophobic corners, Brandon experiences a brief panic attack but continues on, seeing his friend Danielle wriggle ahead as she navigates further.
Bro, she's probably some sizes smaller than her. You know what I mean? Like as a male who's 6'5", 6'4", 6'5", however tall I am, 250 pounds, man, you will first off, it's probably physically impossible for me to even try to make my way down there. But even if I were to try to attempt it, man, you got me messed up, bro. I'm like, I'm watching you go down these little tiny holes, and you think I'm about to, no, no,
The
I'm not doing
restrictive
it.
spaces would make anyone squirm, and squirm Brandon does, but he manages to make his way back to the light. When at last Brandon squeezes his way out of the hole, he celebrates being free from that claustrophobic nightmare. Number 8, waterlogged. Are you heading out to a seaside restaurant tonight? You might want to reconsider. Published to YouTube by Ed Haddon, March of 2014. They wrote, Jill Freeland, the artist and videographer, was having breakfast this morning at Moby Dick's with her family and got a little more sea salt than was on the menu. The footage shows the restaurant overlooking a stormy gray sea.
That's a mini tsunami right there, man.
While the customers await their meal, they helplessly watch as the waves take on a life of their own. They probably think they're safe inside, but boy are they wrong.
Ooh. Look at that. You see it rising, and all of a sudden, like, oh, okay. Yeah, it's time to go.
Time to go.
Let's go. Time to go.
The water crashes
Come on,
against the
fucker,
window and
get
glass
up out of there.
shatters as the spectators scream. Someone calmly says, time to go,
Time to
and
go.
the customers are told to leave the restaurant,
Yep.
which they do without argument. It appears that no one was hurt in the incident, but they certainly saw firsthand how indifferent Mother Nature is to brunch.
Yeah.
Number
Yeah. You gonna sit here and enjoy your meal? I got something for you.
7. Help me.
Time to
Baby
go.
monitors sometimes capture that which
Oh,
we don't
God.
even know is there.
Not the
This
babies.
creepy clip was posted to r/ghosts by
I
Zealous.
feel like anything that happens with babies is like 10 times scarier. You know what I mean? Because they can't help themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, baby's helpless. So
Ideal
anything that
Call
happens to the baby,
53. It shows a
Scarier.
monitor placed in a child's bedroom. The baby is playing while her guardian appears to be on her phone. All is normal until you turn up the sound. A growl of a voice snarls "help me" 3 times in a row at the beginning of the video. Neither the baby nor the young woman in the video appears to hear the voice. Is it crossed wires with a nearby baby monitor? Did someone hack the monitor's sound? Or is it an EVP capturing someone beyond crying out for help? The Redditor explains in the
first off, look at the baby. Like, the baby is attracted and drawn to the corner. You know what they say about babies and about dogs, right? Babies and dogs, they can see entities and spirits and whatnot. You know what I mean? Like, and it sounds like the help me is coming from that corner of that area of the room. And look where the baby is at.
comments that this isn't the only strange occurrence in their house and that paranormal events have regularly been happening since she was pregnant. The Redditor writes, "We've had another incident with her nanny cam and seeing a black shadow near her, an orb, and her suddenly waking up screaming. I've had issues in my own room with the feeling of someone watching me, breathing on my neck, severe night terrors, and missing items that suddenly return. Does this give more credence to..."
Okay, so I'm not the only one then. I swear to God, I'll put something down, like say my vape, I'll put it down, right? Or maybe car keys, or maybe my phone, and I turn around, right? And it's not there. It's not there. It's not where I put it. Right? It's not where I put it. And then all of a sudden it's either back there where I thought I had put it in the first place, or somewhere else. Or is that my attention span being like shorter than the squirrels? I don't know. But I'm glad that,
to the presence of a paranormal
there's explanations
entity?
for these things, you know
My
what I'm saying?
answer is yes. Number 6, Cork Crowbar Lurker. Better safe than sorry. This video proves that saying couldn't be more true. A mother in
You got no
Cork,
shoes on?
Ireland was threatened via letter by a former work colleague. In fact, he was watching her, and CCTV footage caught her terrifying ordeal on camera. After someone had painted her car tires pink and put X's and O's on the car's windows, as
You
well
got
as
a
the
stalker,
message,
stalker.
"I win." The homeowner,
You
Una
win.
Ring, installed
Nah,
a
bro.
CCTV
You taking big
camera
L's,
outside
bro.
her home. It captured her work colleague posting a menacing letter to the windshield of her car. What it said was so disturbing I can't say it here. Thankfully, a civilian police force known as Guardians of the Peace of Ireland were made aware of the lurker's threats and were surveilling Una's home. What followed was the lurker's escalation. He came around Una's with a crowbar in hand and was caught on camera approaching her property. He was also discovered to be in possession of rope and duct tape. The suspect was confronted by the protectors and was taken into
Yeah.
custody.
Got him.
Una says she owes her life to them.
Yeah,
The creep
what
was
a
given
weirdo,
5
bruh.
years behind bars for his
Sheesh.
actions.
You stalkers out there, you creepos, you weirdos, you perverts, whatever, man. Don't be doing it because you gonna get 5 years, man. Get 5 years. You might get more, man, depending on what you look like and who you are. Cut it out. Stop being weird, man. The world's already full of weird people.
Number 5. Phantom Theater. When performing at the theater, more often than not you hope to entertain, but some audience are not very lively. Originally published by
I've seen this
YouTuber
one.
Phil Koch,
Seen
this
this guy.
footage shows a paranormal investigation. While exploring a haunted theater, Phil kicks back in his theater seat, sitting alone in the dark room. A wide shot shows no one in the aisle behind Phil. The row is entirely empty. Little does he know he's in for more than a show. Watch the seat to his left behind him. While sitting there staring forward, the seat shudders back and forth as if someone pushed it down
Hell
to
no,
sit but then
no,
decided
no.
against it. Although
Yeah.
he couldn't have seen the movement, the sound sends Phil fleeing the scene,
Yeah,
likely
bro.
without any desire for an encore.
There.
Perhaps
I don't understand how people can like put themselves in these situations, man. You like being scared that much. You like, or like what I want to know what drives a paranormal investigator to do what they do in the first place. Like, I feel like some of us, a good portion of us, have had some type of experience with paranormal, whether you want to admit it or not. I feel like we've all had some type of experience, right? And that never made me be like, oh, you know, I want to go sit in empty buildings and mansions and warehouses and hospitals and asylums and wait for some type of entity to mess with me. I don't get the logic, man. Somebody post in the comments, man. Please explain to me.
this entire
confused.
theater is reserved for the passed on, and he and his paranormal team disturbed a packed house. But another investigation by Phil is gaining much traction in the Spanish-speaking community. While investigating, this door opens right in front of him, and people are claiming to see this figure.
Let's go back here again, and then we'll take a look.
Oh! Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. You gotta get the hell up out of there, boy. Get me out of there. I mean, it is a theater, so it could be some type of prop, you know what I mean? You never know, but with it being a theater, man, there's so many more things that can be inhabited by some type of paranormal entity.
Come on.
What do you think? I just know I wouldn't be going anywhere near that building. Number
Nope.
4, Prison Screech. We may have just discovered the soundtrack to your nightmares. Published to YouTube by Column A in June of 2019. This clip shows a young man in a prison cell, no context given. He speaks to the camera and, in the midst of his monologue, he gives a strange, otherworldly shriek like a velociraptor. Why? Well, YouTubers have a wealth of hypotheses. For example, Lord Woody thinks that the man is sucking the soul out of the cameraman. I just know if I were in this
Yeah, bro.
situation,
What?
I'd be getting the heck out of there.
Yeah, bro. I'm
Number 3.
Getting socked
being
one time real quick, boy.
followed. Do you feel like someone's
Put you on your ass.
pursuing you? Then you should probably trust your gut. Published to YouTube by Upbeat Yamaha in February of 2019. This video follows a motorcyclist minding his own business on the open road. Wearing a GoPro, he manages to capture a white truck in front of him. Nothing out of the ordinary. Ahead, the truck pulls over to the side of the road. This too appears innocent enough, but after passing the white truck and later taking a turn onto a side street, seeing the truck continue along, you probably wouldn't expect what comes next.
Welcome to Raid Shadow Legends. If you're wondering just what you're getting into, Raid Shadow Legends.
Next, the biker returns to the main road, and the same white truck now a ways ahead pulls over again, letting him pass a second time. The biker starts to wonder what's going on.
Yeah, bro, what are you doing?
Even more worrisome, he thinks the truck is following him. He suspects the driver might be trying to record his license plate to report him for something, although he says he hasn't done anything to report. He again
It's so weird. So I'm a motorcyclist myself. Unfortunately, I sold my bike not too long ago, but I've been riding for more than 7 years. And I've had this happen to me, you know what I mean? Especially just, cruising down the road, doing that to mind my own business. And people feel the need to mess with bikers. We don't be doing nothing. Half the time, we don't be doing nothing. Like, I feel like some of these people are either upset that, we seem to be enjoying ourselves, or maybe too, that the bike is too loud and they don't like the noise, you know what I mean? Or they're just Karens and you know what I mean? They're just uptight about everything. But I never understand people who mess with people who aren't doing anything.
pulls over at an intersection and attempts to wait out the suspect, who has stopped as well. The biker says
And a lot of the time, because it looks like he's on an enduro, right? If you don't know what an enduro is, it's like a dirt bike with street tires. So you can ride it. It has headlights, has tail lights, has blinkers. You know what I mean? But it's you can either do off road or on road with them. And a lot of people think, they see that bike and like, oh, that bike is illegal. That's a dirt bike. You're not supposed to be riding that bike on the road. And then they'll try to report you in, and people just look stupid. You know what I mean? So that could be the case too. We don't know.
The truck is attempting to wave him on. After a brief face-off, the biker turns to the left, noting the guy's plate number and saying he was taking pictures of him. While the video doesn't come to any concrete conclusion about what the white truck wanted, the biker suspects that he's dealt with the same man before. Some in the comments think it's probably just some angry boomer who's mad about how loud the bike is. Others advise that if this happens again, to pull into a fire station, as they most certainly will help someone being followed. A cautionary tale if there ever was one. For all we know, this lurker could have had even more sinister motives.
You never know.
Number 2,
Could've.
Paranormal Motorcycle. What lurks in your alley in the middle of the night? This video may surprise you. Published to YouTube by Tasklock in March of 2021, the security footage was recorded on the 30th of December 2020 at around 4 in the morning. An empty road with a few motorcycles and bicycles parked along each side, still in the darkness, at least for the moment. Suddenly, someone invisible decides to take this bike out for a spin. The motorcycle abruptly pulls out into the road, turning in place. At one point, it slows in its turning, then jerks forward and continues in its path before falling over on the side in the middle of the road. Could this just be something mechanical malfunctioning in the bike? Or did a ghost realize he didn't have enough momentum mid-launch? I've got a challenge for you. Since you've made it this far, why not like this video and hit subscribe in the next 5 seconds? Because I upload 4 new scary videos every week.
Man, it's
if you're
promoing
curious
for me.
about what I look
Come on,
like
baby.
in real life.
Hey, what he said, man, don't forget to hit the like button, smash the sub button, post in the comments, man. If you like my video, I post about 3 to 4 times a week, so you'll always be getting content from me.
Then go to my Instagram at DylanIsChillinYT and tap that follow button to find out. Number 1, not abandoned. A remote shanty house in the middle of nowhere. It's gotta be abandoned, right?
Has to be.
Posted to r/ghosts by Livid Excuse 1640. This video reminds every paranormal explorer to be always on their guard. The Redditors driving down a dirt road at night in what appears to be the boonies with no lights around apart from a faint, distant glow. And yet in the middle of nowhere, they come upon a rundown white house. It's dark and clearly abandoned, or so you think, as the Redditor drives slowly past.
What if it's not abandoned? Right? And what if there's like some psychotic, inhumane mass murdering serial killer person thing inside, plotting for the next victim. And then you just happily, willingly stroll up in the building. Now you chop
shining
liver.
a flashlight onto the house.
Come on, man.
He spotlights its empty and broken
still got my Teddy, too, if you guys are
nothing
wondering.
else.
Yeah, I got it.
That is until he zooms in on a center window. Here appears a white hooded figure without discernible features. The realization of what they're seeing scares them enough to drop their camera and drive away. While many Redditors in the comments believe the figure is a squatter rather than a ghost, this sighting at an assumedly abandoned house would be unsettling regardless. The Redditor writes in the comments, I've been in the house once and it's like the people living there just up and left clothes in closets, dishes in the sink, toys on the floor. It was wild. I got halfway down the hallway and something that felt like pure evil came over me and I ran back out. He also shares some still photos with varying exposures that he took from the clip. What do you see in the Rorschach ink blot? This is only a test. If you're trying to fall asleep, watch something else.
Good thing it's the middle of the day for me, man. I don't do these videos at nighttime. I only do these during the day, you know what I'm saying? That's how much of a chicken I am. You know what I mean? But if I see that house, first off, my first thought is not to want to check it out. I'm not even thinking about the house in the first place. I'm gonna just keep driving. I'm gonna be thinking about whatever food I was previously thinking about before, because I know I was probably thinking about food. I'm always thinking about food. All right, y'all. Hey, go check out my last scary video that I posted, man. That's a cool video to check out. Make sure you hit the like button, smash that sub button, post in the comments what you think about the video. I mean, what are your fears? What are your paranoias? You know, let your boy know. Let's be transparent with each other. All right, y'all. It's Flex Too Nice, man. You know what it is. I'm out of here. Peace.